Hello, my name is William and I am the creator of a website named Plip-plop-land, which is the host to a number of games and applications that I have made, firstly to help me in the classroom, but now I hope it can also help other ALTs teaching in Japan. And even if you're not an ALT teaching in Japan, maybe this will be of use to you in an English classroom somewhere. My goal was to overcome inadequate materials, really, and also to save myself the time of having to produce a lot of complicated materials, which in the end I only ever used in class for a few minutes each time. And then I wasn't able to reuse them at all. So I wanted to make some games that I could set up really quickly. I could reuse them as often as I wanted, so there'd be a lot of randomization. And it would make the most boring, I suppose, parts of the class more fun. So it's a lot of vocabulary based activities and stuff like that. If you are an ALT in Japan, then you probably know what this is. It's an elementary school textbook. This one is called New Horizon, and this is the source of most all of the picture data that I use in my games. Mostly it's picture dictionary, which means if your students use these textbooks, they will see the same images in these games as they usually see. But the vocabulary is the same across all of the textbooks, and I think otherwise it should not cause a problem. Eventually I would like to move away from this material to all original images, but that will not come in the short term. So that's basically what Plip-plop-land is trying to do. Let's take a look at one or other of the applications so you can see what they kind of do. In the most basic ones, they will all share the same kind of structure. They'll have a screen like this, which has all of the topics available. This matches the picture dictionary that I showed you before. You can open up a topic and see the individual cards, and then you can select the ones you want to use in your game, clear it, or you can just select them all with the all button and then confirm and go back, and then begin the game with the begin the game button. This is a practice screen. Some of the games have a practice screen and others don't. And into the game we go. This is a memory game I'll talk about in another video, but this is pretty simple structure. Most of the games are designed for the teacher to use on a big screen or a projector, and they're interacting with the students that way, like this one. But others are designed for the students themselves to use the game on their own little personal machine. Most of the kids in Japan have Chromebooks and iPads and stuff like that in class now, and so they can hopefully use this to make some classroom activity a bit of fun. I started, of course, with only one activity, but now there are quite a few on the website. How many is that? 12, 13, 14, something like that. Some of them are very general and others are very specific. But I have found them very useful in class up till this point, and it's in continuing development, so I'm adding new activities all the time and updating and improving the ones that are there all the time as well, and I'm very actively listening to feedback and trying to improve things. I try not to hard code a lot of specific rules into the games beyond the basic ones. I like to try and keep them flexible so that you as the teacher or the operator can use it in your classroom the way you most want to. I've already found that there are a lot of different ways to use my games that I hadn't thought of in the first place, and I'm glad that I didn't really hard code anything. But as soon as you start using them, I think you'll also start finding new and interesting ways to new kinds of variations that are your own, and I'll definitely like to hear about those. But for each individual game there'll be a guide video and you can take a look at that. If you're interested in helping out Plip-plop-land, as I certainly could use some support, you can stick around after this and I'll talk about a Patreon that I have set up. But otherwise, you could stop the video here, and I hope you can find some good useful activities here to help you in your classroom. If you're still here, then you want to hear about how to support Plip-plop-land, and you have my thanks for that. The first way you can help me out is to give feedback on any or all of my activities. I really want to hear about it, and where they can be fixed, or what things are going wrong, how they can be improved, and new things as well. So I always want to add new things. So you can give me feedback on guide videos on YouTube with the comments, or you can hit me a direct mail on Twitter, or just post whatever on Twitter, and I will get back to you as much as I can. Otherwise, if you want to help with the other things, I do have a Patreon that I set up, and it's got a few tiers, most of which have benefits to compensate you for your support. The first level doesn't have any benefits, but it's just an initial level. If that's how much you want to contribute, then that's totally fantastic. Any contribution at all is fantastic. I'm really grateful for. The second tier is the first one that has benefits, and at this level I will maintain a list for you of direct links to game screens with settings and things all preloaded. It can be very useful in the case of doing a game where you have a complicated list of images that you want to load up, or you want a language setting in a particular kind of way, or you want to disable buttons, like you want to disable the reset button, or you want to disable anything at all. So for supporters at tier 2, I will maintain a list of up to 10 such links for you, and I will share them with you in a Google Doc or something like that. You can then supply those links directly to your students and get them into the game with whatever settings you want already applied, and it streamlines the process quite a bit. For supporters then at the next tier, that same direct links benefit applies, but with a maximum limit of 20 now. And also supporters at level 3, providing you can supply me with the necessary image data, you can have your own custom images implemented into the games of Plip-plop-land for you. These will also be shared with you by direct link and will not be generally available. And as long as the support continues at this tier, you can have access to the Plip-plop-land with whatever images you want in place of or alongside the current images. The final and highest tier is one that in principle you should only enter into after having discussed it with me directly. The benefit there is that I will, after a discussion, as I said, try to create a new application or a new game specifically for you on your to meet your own goals, your own needs. But this process is very difficult. It's not always possible, which is why I say you should talk about it first. Otherwise, if you don't have a particular thing you want developed, you just want to contribute at that level, that's totally fine as well. You only need to contribute at that level once. You can immediately drop it down again. But if there are custom images or whatever, you'll need to maintain the level for custom images. If you want to commission, I suppose is the word, in this way, a new application, I reserve the right to make it publicly available, but without any custom images or whatever, those would only be available to you as a patron of that application. But like I said, it's a difficult and time-consuming process, and I don't have a lot of time because I do work full-time, and I have a daughter as well who administers all my free time, so I only get a very short little time of any day to do development, and so we should definitely talk about that ahead of schedule. But if it is within your means and you would like to contribute to the Patreon to support me out, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, your feedback on any application or game is also very useful. And otherwise, I just hope you can find some use in these apps and have a good time in your class with them, as I certainly have up till now. So until the next time, that's all from me. So thank you very much and good day.